I found in putting my thoughts together for this occasion that a short speech is much more difficult to write than a long one. I read as much as time will allow, and some of what you will hear comes from life, academia, fellow scholars such as Gordon Roman and Malcolm Gladwell. What I needed was something that was contemporary, concise, cheap. You know, something like a Hallmark greeting card. That would be perfect. Great vehicle for giving good advice. So this is my graduation present to you. This card is how to be wise, how to be wealthy, how to be healthy in spite of your current and future education. Here are some of my thoughts. Who we are today is no better than what we were yesterday, unless we make the effort to change who we wish to be tomorrow. Life has taught me that the confidence I feel is what you have before you understand the problem. A lot of frustrations are caused by a surplus of simple answers, coupled with a tremendous shortage of simple problems. Historians tell us that all about the past, and economists about the future. Only the present is confusing, partly because the answers that we insist on giving don't fit the questions the media insist on asking. By the way, I should share with you that I believe there is no present, only the past or the future. Think about it. By the time you recognize the present, it is gone. In that one fleeting moment, it has become the past. We cannot both hate change and love it all at the same time. We can't really want for things to remain the same, but wish they would get better. All of these years you have been taught that a good student is the person who makes the strange seem familiar. I say to you that it is at least as good to make the familiar world strange again. Ask new questions. Become curious. What we consider to be consistency may mean that we are as ignorant today as we were yesterday or 1 year ago. I have decided that the word life is actually an acronym. It is an acronym for love, it, forever. It is important for us to understand who we are, why we are here. It may take a catastrophic event in our life before we become fully aware of the answer to why. Why do we become so driven, so motivated, so passionate about life after such an event that we lose sight of those things we deemed important before the event occurred? What makes us do the things that we do? Why do we make the choices we make? And what is driving those decisions? Mr. Snare would always tell us on Friday afternoon, make good decisions. Were we too busy to pay attention or even care? After all, we are young. We are full of energy. We're carefree. If you ever had that little voice in the back of your mind tell you, you know, this isn't such a great idea, or have you actually done something and then realized it may not have been in the best choice that you could have ever made? We all have made mistakes in judgment, and then we wait to see what the repercussions are of our actions. Newton's theory that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction is true. We just may not know at the moment what the opposite reaction is going to be. You'd have to wait and find out. Have you ever left home and driven a block only to realize you left the iron or the stove on? So you turn around, drive home, and enter the house only to find that the appliance that you thought you left on is actually off. You re-enter your car, muttering to yourself, and begin your journey again. But as you travel down the same path you just traveled 5 to 10 minutes before, you come upon a devastating crash that has just taken place. What thought crosses your mind? Is it, whoa, that could have been me? Live your life with open-minded uncertainty. Understand ambiguity. You will be no stranger to errors and mistakes. This concept will run counter to the American dream and the ambiguous definition of the term success. It is an American dream based on the religion of winning at all cost, and termed a sin for being the loser. So it comes down to choices. Do we enter the path for the journey of life and go straight? Do we turn left or do we turn right? How do we know which is the right decision? You have been given a gift, the gift of life. It is something that could have just as easily been given to someone else. You are a fortunate few. You have the community surrounding you that has prepared you properly for the world. Our sense of possibility, so necessary for success, comes not just from inside us or from our parents. It comes from our time, from the particular opportunities that our particular place in history presents us with. I believe it comes from our choices. You are in charge of your choices, not your destiny. But I know firsthand that your destiny is determined by your choices. There is a relationship between effort and reward. There are three things: autonomy, complexity, and the connection between effort and reward that work has to have in order for it to be satisfying. It is not how much money you make that will absolutely and ultimately make you happy between 9 and 5. It is whether the work fulfills you. Ask any educator. Work that fulfills these three criteria is meaningful. Success is not a random act. It arises out of predictable and powerful set of circumstances and opportunities that are brought about by, you guessed it, your choices, your world, your culture, your generation, and family history give you the greatest of opportunities. When you try to make an impression, that's the impression you make. My dad, may he rest in peace, used to say to me, "Son, when you go for an interview, make certain your shoes are polished. That is the first impression the interviewer will have of you." A friend of mine, before my last surgery, sent me the following quote. I truly believe in it, and I live by it. You might listen. The human body has limitations. The human spirit is boundless. Life is not a journey to the grave with the intention to arrive safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, loudly proclaiming, "Wow, what a ride." Now go out and show what else you can do besides graduate. Congratulations.
Julie Ray Lashinsky.